This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Brews with Homeowners. I'm your host, Dmitry Lipinski. I got my coffee here. Hope you have a drink because we have 4 spicy stories for you today. They are incredible. Today we're talking about DIY renovations that got wrong. These are 4 cases where the homeowners and flippers tried to do it themselves. They messed up and they got sued or something went terribly wrong. I have 2 co-hosts today, Adam Sand and Sam Cook from Minneapolis and Canada in the studio with me today. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. So the first one, contractor forged document to sell the house. Crazy story from New York. The Camisas bought a house in New York in 2008. The sellers were also contractors, Louis Papaleo and Pasquale Roma. Before closing, the buyers asked for a certificate of occupancy. The sellers gave them a letter on official city letterhead. I already see where this story is going. It says the house didn't need a certificate because it was built in 1925 before present restrictions, so grandfathered in rule, and had no building code allegations. After moving in, the buyers found out there were huge changes made to their original home, including a new bedroom, 2 bathrooms, an exterior deck. The sellers did the renovations themselves, and none of the work was approved by the city. The kicker, the letter was allegedly a forgery. The buyers claimed the sellers actively hid the illegal work to push the sale through, and the outcome here, the first judge dismissed the fraud claims, sided with the sellers under buyer beware, a law that requires buyers to fully investigate a property before purchasing. But an appeals court reversed that and allowed the case to go forward. They said the fake letter likely made it impossible for the buyers to investigate. In 2015, they settled. Papaleo and Roma agreed to buy the house back from the Camisas. The Camisas dropped their fraud claims in exchange for that deal. What a story. Like, if you have to forge the document of any kind, that's all, you're already in the, like, you're way beyond the red flags and red lines. And what's your take, guys, on the story?
Adam, you first.
Well, I mean, the thing is that this sale has kind of become a total loss because I did the research on it and said the cost for including the architectural plans to essentially have made this right would have been $15,000. But it was discovered that the cost to get this thing back up and ready for sale was $600,000. So to think that a contractor or like any reasonable mind, and not anybody who's deciding to foray into real estate investing would risk fraud, which I'm surprised he didn't get charged with fraud. It's 100% fraud. I'm surprised it didn't go to a criminal case and stayed civil, but to risk fraud and over $500,000 to save at most $15,000 is insane.
People, desperate times, desperate means. I do see a lot of contractors who will do these kind of things when they're living paycheck to paycheck, when they just, you know how a lot of contractors will take a bad job or bad deal just to get through. They know they're going to lose money and they're like, maybe I'll be fine for now. So they're buying themselves days or weeks on their checkbook. The bills are common, the suppliers are common, you know, the salary, the trucks, the overhead. And when you broke, you make decisions like that. $15,000, Adam, might not sound like a lot of money, but if you don't have nothing, if you have $500 on your account, it'll get you 2-3 more weeks. And that sale, you're like, hey, I passed it. I mean, that's what I think is happening here.
Yeah, I don't want to blame the buyers by any means here, but just curious, if a house is built in 1925, and then they said after moving in, they found out there was a new bedroom, 2 bathrooms, an exterior deck. I'm just saying there's some differences between a 1925 and a 2025 house that I would think most people would be able to look at and go, huh, not all this is original. But obviously they look past it. And I think we'll probably see this a few times through these stories is that always get an inspector, right? If you don't know homes, you don't know construction, hire someone that does. You're buying a huge purchase, 6-digit purchase of a house, hire an inspector. But
And typical inspection is what, $500-600? When I bought my house in 2018, I mean, we have an amazing inspector. Or if you buy it as is, you at least know, okay, here's what I'm getting. When we bought this property, you know, my realtor told me, Misha, are you sure you want this property? Like, and I knew I'm gonna do everything, like electrical work, but at least you know, you're aware of. So,
Well,
Adam,
you
what else
lost-
did you find?
Well, I mean, the thing that is interesting to point out is that they agreed to buy the house back, which sounds like you get away, but it appears that this house was not bought as an investment. This house was bought as a home. So for a lot of people, their biggest investment is real estate, and they lost out like from 2008. If you think about it, like when was that, right? Real estate glut, house pricing was low. 2015, that was pretty much all gone, and massive amounts of inflation. Like they missed out on 7 years of real estate appreciation. So even though they kind of got away from it by selling the house back for what they paid for it, they lost out on probably one of the potentially best runs of real estate that exists in like the last 50 years of investment in real estate. Like so that choice, not only did it cost the seller the $600,000 worth of work to actually bring the house back up and make it ready for sale, the homeowners lost out on 7 years of real estate appreciation.
yeah, I mean, it was from '08 when the house was sold till 2015 was the settlement. Yeah, that's a 7-year spread.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I'm just curious on the judges in this case. Like, it's a slang down, right? So all you have to do is to prove, like, hey, city did not approve it. There's no, like, this is not a real document. For me, the case is closed, shut down. Like, you know, guilty, not guilty. It's black and white. Do you make it? Like, and most judges in this country, in my opinion, they'll just look at your face and like, hey, did you forge it? Is it your signature? Right? Because if you have to fake a document of any kind, especially to get the sale, to get a my, whether it's you're buying a car, I mean, first of all, it's false advertising. Second of all, it's city officials. It's like you faking like official document by the city. How can anyone get away with it? Like, I'm speechless.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
straight
well,
fraud.
yeah, how this doesn't get like referred to a criminal case is kind of surprising, because if you put a red and blue light, I remember when I was a kid, I owned a 1977 Trans Am, and that car had like a shaker hood, so the hole in the hood where this thing mounted on the engine would like shake when the engine rumbled, and in there was two air inlets where like air would come into the engine. I put a strobe light in there because I thought it looked cool that it could make the car like strobe and light up. I was 16 years old, okay? I thought it was neat. I turned that on, and a police officer pulled me over in a drive-through for impersonating a police officer. Like, you just impersonated the city. Like, you impersonated the government. So how does like the judicial branch not refer this, right, for a criminal action? Maybe it is, and it's just not included in the story. But it sounds to me like this is something that, I mean, I know this guy that basically wrote on his taxes a legal expense, and it turned into a federal indictment. So, you know.
I have a question for both of you guys. Have you ever forged your parents' signatures in school?
I've never forged a signature in my life.
I can't think. I don't think so. I don't.
You know,
I
we
can't.
used to have this, you know, like when you put your grades and you're supposed to bring them the signature. I forged it, but only because my parents did not give two flying cents about, you know, my stuff. They're like, you know, if the parents had a duty to sign, you know, like homework and stuff, they're like, please sign. I do it for my kids now. They come to me, they would not do it. And I'm like, who even, like, why? Like, my 9-year-old will come to me, can you please sign it? I'm like, really? But I like the principle of it, right? But we used to say, but you know exactly the type. You know, when a kid has to like change the grade and like really rig the system.
To turn an F into an A, box the A.
Yeah, and then later when they grow up, they do like, okay, what's city? You know, occupancy letter, like sign.
Because
You know,
you have to have done something in the past that, like, the bridge from nothing to there is pretty extreme.
yes.
So there usually is a trail of like previous actions that kind of make that feel like not so scary.
And it's a
Because like,
full admittance of fault, right? Like, there's no way you went through that effort just to cover, like, oh, it's just a technical thing I'm going to do. Like, you had to really put a lot of thought into that.
Absolutely.
You knew you were in the wrong.
Yeah, what a story. When we come back after the break, we have another story for you. This engineer called this is the worst home he've ever seen. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.